Assalamualaikum and a very good day. So today we'll be presenting on how bicycle is made for PHY 4207 Materials Processing Technology. Let's us introduce ourselves. Our group members are Nur Azin Nazira, Siti Sarah and also Chan Kafi. So before we start, let us get a brief explanation on what is actually bicycle. A bicycle is also called a cycle or bike is a human-powered, pedal-driven, single-track vehicle that having two wheels attached to a frame, one behind the other. And there are few major components, and these are what we are going to be focusing on today, which are the body frame, the rim, cranks, handlebar, and also saddle. So for body frame, it is actually usually made up of steel, and the processes included are drawing, which flat steel strip stock, wrapping it into a tube, and then continued with the joining, in which the joining of the tube into the body frame. And it can be done by hand brazing or welding machine, and also the brazing filler is generally brass or copper zinc alloy or silver, which melt at lower temperatures than the tube that being joined.
In order to manufacture rim, we are having 8 process. First will be feeding, rim band coiling, flattening but welding. Third one trimming, flaring, roll forming, edge flaming, hole punching, and also the press the disc into the rim, and also welding. So for the feeding we're using a coiler machine for the before the rim welding. It provides the forms of coil hoops from flat rim bands. It used to preparation of wheels for with cars, trucks, and also construction vehicles. For flattening is to flatten the joint of the coil rim bands that are over 4 mm thick before proceeding to the flash butt welding process. For trimming, the welding slag will be produced on both inside and outside surface of the weld joint after the welding. A special machine unit comprised of trimmer, plenisher, and also end cutting machine used to remove the slag and make the surface of the weld joint flat and smooth. For flaring, horizontal flaring machine will be used to flare two edges of the rim to make the following roll forming processes easier. For roll forming, it is used for the symmetrical and asymmetrical roll forming of wheel rims for passenger cars, tractors. It is used for the first through the fourth roll forming. The fourth roll forming process is optional and is used to press non-skid patterns onto the rim of tractors and construction vehicles. Edge flaring is used to precise expanding and sizing using a special tooling allows the form rims to meet the design requirement for diameter. For valve hole punching is to punch the right valve hole on the effective part of the rim. It is used for the flat pressing and hole punching on tubeless wheel rims. To press the disc into the rim is to bear the vehicle's weight and transmitting power. The wheel disc is connected to the hub and transmit the power from the engine. For bicycle crank, it is used to support the pedals and transfers power from the pedals to the chain and rear wheel. It consists of steel or aluminum alloy, crank arms, chain rings, and the bottom bracket assembly of axle, cups, and bearings that attach with bolts and caps into the bottom bracket of the bicycle frame. In order to manufacture a bicycle crank, several techniques are involved: cutting off, drilling, and also machining. Normally, we are manufacturing a bicycle crank on a steel plate. First, we will have a we will cut off we will machine the desired shape and make the outside layer of the crank. After that, we using cutting off and drilling in order for us to have the holes for the bolts and caps. Right now, I will pass to my friend to continue the part.
So the next part will be handlebar. Firstly, the aluminium tubing is generally formed using a process known as drawing or swagging that is done after extrusion, and the material must be annealed or softened several times during the process due to the work hardening, and the bends are done in a series of dies that may or may not use internal support mandrel in order to prevent or to limit the collapsings. And last but not least, the handlebar are also heat treated, aged, shot pin, and also anodized. So the last part will be the saddle. Basically, the hard plastic shell forms the foundation of the bicycle seats, and the contour of the saddle is in the metal mold. These seats are injection molded, and the resin solidifies in the mold, and the mold is unclamped, and the plastic shell is forced out of the mold using some sort of ejector such as the pin. And the next padding is glued to the plastic shell. This padding is densely packed that provides some comfort for the rider, and the foam is cut using heavy blade along the contours of the shell, and it is attached to plastic shell by using a spray adhesive applied using an air compressor and spray gun. And these foam sheets are applied to the shell by the hand, one sheet at a time. So the cover, sometimes referred to as the top sheet, is cut out by using a hand and using a heavy handheld scissors. And next, the top sheet is now affixed to the foam covered base. This top sheet is carefully attached by hand by using a spray adhesive once again. And after the top sheet is attached to the base using the glue, it is also stapled to the base to ensure a permanent and to obtain a smooth fit. And then the plastic bumper are then screwed into the nose, the back, and the underside of the seat. This bumper will cover the gluing and the stapling of the top sheet to the base, giving the sheet a finished lock. And the rod must then be forced into an opening on a plastic shell. So in order to do this, the shell with a complete form and cover, and the rod are put into the machine that applies the pressure with the assistance of the operator, and forcing the rod into the seat using the pressure. The rail are just pop up into the seat foundation, and then finally the seat is now complete and ready for packing and shipping. So